Not all Idaho properties are created equal. The perfect home isn't just about square footage or great view, it's about finding the right fit for your family's future. But how do you avoid costly mistakes? Today, we're sitting down with elite real estate agent and expert Donna Cave from Idaho Wild Rivers Realty Group, who's helped countless families navigate Idaho's unique market. She knows the insider tips, the hidden pitfalls, and the game changing strategies you need to hear before making a move. So let's dive in to Donna's 6 tips on how to find Idaho properties to check all the boxes. So now, Donna, when the families are searching for a home in Idaho, what are some of the key features they should be looking for to make sure it truly fits their lifestyle?
Thank you. This is exciting. I love helping people find just what they need. It's just, is the family a large family, a small family? Where do you want to live? Do you want to live in a city like around Boise? There's so many nice subdivisions out there that have cul-de-sacs in them, so the children can be safe playing. You don't have to worry about traffic going by. You don't have to worry about your children getting hit. That's an option for living close to the town. Or you might want to live out further and have a larger acreage so you can have your chickens and your lambs and your horses. And those usually have driveways and just lots of roads in there where the kids can be safe. So I think that's some of the things that we need to think about. And do you want recreation property? Do you want a place for yourself to live and your family? Or do you want to buy something that maybe has a development future in it? There's just a lot of options. And if you do live close to the city, you're going to want to go to the mountains a lot, and you're going to want to play in the mountains a lot. So that means you're going to have to think about a place for storage for all of your toys. You might have a boat for or rafting or ski equipment. You want a nice place where you can keep things, maybe an extra oversized garage. But those are some of the things you want to think about. And if you want to move up closer to the mountains, that's very exciting. So these areas and communities all have events going on, and it's just interesting to be able to be part of a community. Like I live in Riggins, Idaho. There's 400 people. We have an event every single month of the summer, and that brings in all kinds of people. We have fishing. It's just, there's so many different areas that you want to live. If you're going to find a place, what do you want to do? If you live close to town, you're going to want to know where the bus stops are for your children, or you're going to take them to school, or are you going to homeschool them? This is really an awesome opportunity these days to homeschool your children. And you want to be able to find a multi-purpose room where you can have plenty of room for the kids, and maybe you're going to have your own business. You want a space for your office. It's just now we know since COVID, we can work from home. And that's been so exciting to everybody that thank you, Elon Musk. He has provided us with the opportunity to be able to do that. If you have Starlink, your speed is so much faster than those of us that don't. People that live on top of the mountains, or they live way upriver on guest ranches, places they'd never have phone or never be able to have business. Now they're thriving because of this new technology. There's just so many things that we can do now.
So now, Donna, we'll ask you about tip 2, the best neighborhoods in Idaho for family living. So Idaho has so many amazing communities, but not all of them are ideal for families. What are some of the best areas for families, and what should buyers consider when choosing a neighborhood?
Well, I think it's important to be close and know where your hospitals are, where your community centers are. If you're living close to any kind of a town at all, you want to know where to go for the hospital. That's very important. Emergency care. You want to know where the drugstore is. And there's lots of different places. You can go to the hospital has a drugstore in it sometimes. A lot of people don't know that. Some of the other things we want to know are where the health food stores are. That's really important. So also we want to be able to know where your community events are. There's a lot of community offers that you can have and places to go that are really interesting for your whole family. You want to be able to walk along the green belt. in a lot of the towns. I know Boise has the river and the Greenbelt. That's an awesome place to go walk and take the children. It's cement so the children can bike. You can push a stroller. That's just very interesting. Also, when you're buying in a subdivision, be sure and look at the HOAs, the Homeowners Association. That's very important. Make sure it's not too restrictive for your family and your needs.
Donna, buying acreage sounds amazing, but it's easy to get overwhelmed. How can families determine how much land they actually need, and what are some of the hidden challenges of owning acreage?
Well, I think first of all, you need to decide what are you wanting to do? Are you wanting a little family farm with just an acre or two? Or are you wanting to have something larger and maybe a big ranch? That's exciting. There's many big ranches around here. Also, maybe you just want to be able to have or not recreation, but maybe you want to do some kind of a development on there. There's a lot of good acreages where you can do that, but it depends on what county you're in. Some counties are more restrictive. Like I know that I have a 1,200 acre ranch listed in Washington County, and some people are wanting to have more than one family there. I found out that on that 1,200 acres, there's only one building permit on there. You can go to the county and tell them you want more, but there's a process you have to go through, and they will help you and guide you through that so that you can get more than one building permit. But these are the things you need to know. I live in Idaho County. We don't have a planning and zoning. You don't have to buy a building permit. I'm just kind of boasting about Idaho County. I don't know how long it'll stay that way, but that's pretty exciting. We say we're the Wild West because we don't have to pay for hundreds of dollars for a building permit. So those are things that you need to find out about what you want to do. Because some of these places have, as I mentioned before, even from town to you buy large ranches. There's large parcels of land that people have developed and made ranches out of, with like 20-acre parcels. And you can buy a 20-acre parcel, but there are still our homeowners associations on there, and there's fees. Like most of them are like $300 to $400 a year, and that is for road maintenance. This not county road. The roads are by the ranch themselves. So they keep them privately paid for and take care of the roads. So that is things that you just need to think about and know. But when you buy any property, always get a copy of this called the CC&Rs, the covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Some are very heavy, some are not. So you just have got to know. And when you buy a piece, there's always a place on that offer that says, have you read the CC&Rs at HOA? So make sure that's extremely important for your family.
So tip number 4 is why proximity to outdoor adventures matters for family fun. So Donna, one of the biggest draws to Idaho is the access to outdoor adventure. Why should families think about their proximity to outdoor activities when choosing a property?
Well, there's lots of reasons for that. Along the river here, there are lots of places to camp. People love to camp, love to ride their horses, and there's trails everywhere. Of course, in the summer, you can ride anywhere. But it's very interesting in the winter when there's a lot of snow up in McCall and people are skiing. You can actually come down to lower elevations on the river, like on the Salmon River or in the Clearwater, and you can ride your horses. There's elevations only 1400 in Kamiah and Kuski. So there's plenty of places to ride along the river, your horse, your quad. Or you can be up in the mountain skiing. It's just another thing that's very interesting along the river. The land along the river on the Salmon River is Bureau of Land, and you're able to camp free for 14 days, and then you have to move to another location. You can go to a campground and pay a lot of money, or you can come up into different parts and just camp free, go up in the mountains and find a place. But it's very interesting that you can have a wonderful camping spot for free along the Salmon River. So another thing you want to find out is from where you're living, how far is it to national parks? Those are always fun to take the family to, and a place where you can explore in the winter or the summer. So just come to Idaho. There's lots of fun things to do, and it's just very interesting as learn as we go. And give us a call. We'll help you with any of these questions.
Okay, now going on to tip number 5 with Miss Donna. Tip number 5 is top questions to ask before committing to a family ranch property. So Donna, buying a ranch or a large rural property is a dream for a lot of families, including me. But it comes with a lot of responsibilities. What are the most important questions buyers should ask before making a decision?
Well, there's a number of things. One thing is very important that we all know is water. Make sure that you have water rights and see those water rights before you commit to anything, and know how many water shares that you have and how many locations of those shares are. That's very important. Another thing is, when you buy the property, be sure and ask for the timber and the mineral rights. Those usually are written in the contract, but make sure, because in some places in Idaho, the state owns the mineral rights. And you just need to know that, because there's gold around, there's lots of minerals around, and silver, and you want to get what you can. So you want to make sure of that. And also, as you're looking at your property, you want to make sure that there's good road maintenance. Find out on the piece of property you own, is it your responsibility to maintain the road? Is there a shared driveway? Are you sharing a responsibility with anybody? And also, if you're in a smaller area and you have a shared well, that's something that we do if there's smaller properties. Shop property will share a well, and there's a shared well commitment on there, and you want to read that before you sign it and make sure you see and agree to it. Who's going to help pay for that if the well goes out? Or is that your responsibility or with the neighbors? So those are just interesting things, important things that you need to know. Also on there, you need to know the cost of utilities. And if you're going to be buying a piece of land and you're going to be building, the further back away from the utilities is going to cost you more. So find the place you want to know. Find out from Idaho Power how much it's going to cost per foot, to bring the power in. And that's very important, because you might want to build closer to the road. There's many things to consider while we're buying. Okay, so one of the other things is internet. Find out where your local internet is. We have AirBridge in our area up in Idaho County, and you want to find out if you can get that. If you can't for some reason, because they don't go in all areas, you can always get Starlink. And that's a wonderful opportunity. It's actually faster, so you have that you can choose from. Another thing you want to make sure is, can your land be subdivided? In Idaho County, I know it's easy to do that. Other counties is harder. In Washington County, it's harder. Adams County, it's just, you can do it. It just takes a little bit more red tape. But you do want to know, usually a 40-acre piece can be divided 3 times. And if it's more than that, then you have to get permission. If you want to get into a smaller, or you buy a piece and you want to divide that up into smaller pieces, you might have to do what's called a subdivision. And that's usually about $400. And then you just tell them how you want that divided and how many pieces, and take it to the county commissioners and ask permission. Just have it drawn out very nice so they can understand, and you'll probably get permission to do it. So those are the things you need to be aware of, and it just helps your family so everything will go smoothly and there's no costly mistakes.
Thank you, Donna. I think this is so awesome. Anybody, you've got an expert that they can turn to so they don't make costly mistakes. They can get their questions answered, things they would never even thought of. All they got to do is talk to you. You're going to guide them through the process and help them out. I just think this is phenomenal. So I'm really excited about the next tip, because I know you currently have a property that's off grid, and we're ready to go solar power when we get our ranch. We're actually planning on buying a ranch not too far from Donna. She's helping us. She's been helping us for some time now to find the perfect ranch for us. And so she can help you as well. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is before you choose the pros and cons of going off grid or experiencing on grid life. So we're going to go to that one next. Okay, so now we're going to talk about tip number 6. This is the last of Donna's tips for you guys to help you. And it's before you choose the pros and cons of off-grid and on-grid life. Some buyers love the idea of living off-grid, while others prefer the convenience of modern utilities. Donna, what should buyers know about the pros and cons of off-grid versus on-grid living?
Okay, so this is very important. Do we want to weigh the freedom of self-sufficiency and living off-grid, or do we want the modern conveniences? Joan, what you said is absolutely true. Those are two very important things that we have to decide what's important to our individual family. What do we want to do? We have a lot of off-grid properties all over the country where people want to have sustainable properties, and they want to be able to live off-grid. But there are challenges that come with that. There's maintenance facility. You've got to maintain your generator. There's many different types. You have a generator, you have the solar panels or batteries. There's a number of different types of energy producing equipment, but they all need maintenance. And you need to know that and be prepared to do that. Like when the water comes in, I had some friends that had their whole system freeze up because it was cold, so they had to go out and thaw it. They still love living off grid. You know, you don't have to live on top of a mountain to be off grid. You can be right outside of town and be off grid. It's just whatever you decide to do. And there's many solar companies now that are calling people, helping them be off grid. So that's just your what you would like to do.
And you have an off-grid property currently for sale right now, don't you, Donna?
Yes, we do. It's up above Whitebird, and it's an amazing property on 40 acres. And they have so much power. They have panels, they have a 24K generator, and they have batteries. And they have so much that they have a kitchen range, they have a refrigerator, they even have a dishwasher. Isn't that amazing? She said, we have so much power, we don't know what to do with it all. So don't be afraid you're not going to be without power if you do it right. Just get your education on what you're doing, the type, and you will be so happy.
And I know in the future that property is going to be sold. I'm sure they're selling like hotcakes. So in the future, they just need to contact you to find out what listings you have. What you currently have, just ask you, Donna, do you have any more off-grid properties? So thank you so much for answering these questions today.
Sure, that's okay. Yeah, just make sure that you know about your access, how to get in, because that's very important. Make sure you have deeded access, because some of these properties are in quite a ways, and that's just something I wanted to say that's very important. And make sure that it's a good place for resale. Some of these places are better than others, but that's a key important thing. So I'm excited to help you. We have lots of properties.
Thank you so much, Donna, for sharing all that awesome information and giving us your 6 tips. That was so phenomenal. So now that you know what to look for in a family-friendly Idaho property, let's take things to the next level. What if I told you there are 5 game-changing tips that could make or break your real estate investment? In our next video, Donna is revealing the key factors that determine a property's long-term value, the biggest red flags to avoid, and how to negotiate like a pro. You do not want to miss this. And before you go, be sure to visit just look below, IdahoWildRiversRealtyGroup.com to grab your free newsletter and the guide Donna was telling you about, and get exclusive access to Idaho's top properties as soon as they hit the market.
Thank you. Be sure and click below and come to our next video. And also, my partner is Dorian Clay, and he's been here forever. He knows all these properties like the back of his hand. I just want you to know that call both of us, and we are excited to work with you.
See you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.